Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tumike Adebayo. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for stopping by, and to my returning subscribers, thank you for always coming back. So in today's videos guys, as you can see, we have a new look. So I'm going to be showing you guys how I made this beautiful hairstyle. I mean, take a look at this. You see? It has so many names. Some call it Gypsy braids, Boho braids, Knotless braids. I don't know if there's any difference between all these names. So if you think there's a difference, you can please drop that in the comment section. Whatever it's been called, I love this hairstyle guys, and I'm sure you love it too. So please watch the end of the video and see how I made this hairstyle. And please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, to enjoy more interesting content. You know how we do it now. Thank you very much guys. So guys, this is my hair after washing and stretching it, and I'm super excited because we're finally ready to get started. But before we dive into the styling process, I want to take a moment to show you some of the products and tools I'll be using. So as you all know, for this particular style you need both the curling and the straight hair. For the curly hair, I'll be using this particular brand that I really like. It has great texture and it blends well, and I will ensure to put the name in the description box in case you want to check it out. It has 10 bundles, which should be more than enough, but I'm not entirely sure and if I'll end up using everything, but let's see how it goes. Then for the straight hair, some people prefer to use the whole length, but I just want it to be half because I want the braids to be short and the curls more. And to achieve that, I'll be cutting the hair into two equal halves. Yes, two equal halves. And after cutting it, it will end up having a blunt end, which I don't want. So to avoid that, I'll need to pull the hair to create a more natural look. Now this is the point guys. I know some people find this step a bit tricky. Yes, I know, but the key is to pull gently, taking small section at a time. You have to pull bit by bit, bit by bit. You don't need to pull too much, just a little to create a softer finish, you understand. Then after that, you need to stretch the hair just like you see me do in the video. This helps prevent excessive hair loss during the process. Then once the hair is properly stretched, the next is to comb it out to ensure a smooth and even consistency. After that, fold it neatly and set aside. Also, I'll be using my braiding gel. I love this particular one because it does not leave any white flakes. Then I'll also be using my hair clips. Then I'll also be using my comb, my tail comb, very important, as well as my wooden cotton comb. Then I'll also be using my elastic thread. This is to secure the ends of the braids. I know most people also use glue, which is also fine. I just prefer to use this actually. Then I'll also be using my scissors. Then I'll also be using my braiding gel holder. This is actually very important too guys. I also use that sock. Then I also be needing my water, of course, to keep myself hydrated. So let's go guys. This coily extension is typically used for a different hairstyle. Here in Brazil, we call it interlace, but I believe it's also known as sewing hairstyle. But to use it for bow braids, you need to cut off the edges. Now I'm going to show you how to prep the hair properly. This step is super important because it helps ensure that the final turn out neat, well blended and lightweight. Guys, you only need a small piece of hair at a time because using too much can make the braids look bulky and uneven. Remember, you want to keep adding more curls as you braid, and this increases the volume. So it's important to control the amount you use based on how full you want the style to be. So if you have too much hair at once, the braids might become too thick and heavy, making them harder to manage and less comfortable to wear. So prepping the hair is highly recommended guys because it saves a lot of time during the braiding process. Since I don't have a braiding hair rack, I had to improvise. Please don't laugh at me. The important thing is to get the job done, period. Guys, they weren't lying when they say beauty is pain. At this point, I was already exhausted, like I was so tired. And it was getting too late, so I decided to finish the back and continue the next day. But honestly, the hair looked so stunning that the satisfaction of doing a great job outweighed all the stress that I've been through or that I'm going through. I also realized that I used 4.5 bundles of extensions for the back. Luckily, the remaining hair would be enough for the front since I plan to use more curls for the front. So I think I use 4 to 5 curls for the back and I intend to use 6 for the front. Mind you, this is my preference. I don't want too much curls so that maintaining it won't be difficult. You understand? The next day, I started earlier to make sure I finished on time. So as you can see, I had already parted the hair, which made the work much faster and much quicker. hours, guys. We finally made it to the end. I always look forward to these moments. Like, I had to show you guys my victory dance because it feels like it will take forever, but we did it, guys. Hey, finally we are done. Finally we are done. And I had to moisturize my scalp, which is very, very important, guys, to prevent dryness. Yes, prevent itching. It's important to oil your scalp. And boom, can you guys see what I'm seeing? Just look at this masterpiece. So flawless, so neat, and absolutely beautiful. I can't lie, I'm really, really proud of myself. So let me know in the comment section, have you ever tried this hairstyle before? How was the experience for you? Was it tiring? Was maintaining it stressful? Would you love to do it again? And if you haven't tried this hairstyle before, would you like to rock it? Let me know in the comment section. So I forgot to show you guys, I used a total of 8 bundles for the curls, so that means I had 2 left, which is just fine. It's perfect. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye.